Hello, welcome to Science Thursdays. The first Thursday of every month I want to do a short science related video. And since this month is December, and ice is supposed to be fairly abundant, global warming is kind of taking its effect right now. But I just want to talk about how and why ice floats on top of water. Usually when you go from a liquid form to a solid form, it'll actually precipitate out. That's the fifth time I took that turn, so I finally got it right. Anyway, it'll precipitate out, so it'll actually fall to the bottom of the liquid. But ice is a little bit different, that it actually floats on top of its liquid form. And I just want to go ahead and talk about why. I have a little bit of a oxygen molecule, if you can see it there.
Wow, how scientifically accurate.
Yeah, didn't you know that all atoms are little pieces of paper glued together? Yeah, I actually did think about doing some kind of animation thing here, but I have paper. I have lots of paper. Look at my cosplay videos. But anyway, yeah. Oxygen has a little interesting property when it interacts with hydrogen, that oxygen in itself, it doesn't have enough electrons, that it when it's floating around by itself, it doesn't like being by itself. So it snags some hydrogen atoms, and it'll snag two of the hydrogen atoms to fill up its need of electrons. So since it gets more electrons, and electrons are negatively charged, this end of the atom molecule will be negatively charged, and since we're taking the negative charge away from the hydrogens will be positively charged. And let me do a little bit of jump cut here. And typically when things are around, they don't like being to positive or negative to negative charge. So when they align up to their charges, they'll flip around or they'll move around, so they'll get to a charge they like. But the thing is with water is things are just moving around so much that it lines up for a little bit, but it moves off. And the thing is, when it starts losing the heat energy to move things around, it'll start lining up. So it'll start building a crystal. So the positive will attract to the positive and negative will attract to the negative. But as it starts growing, there's not enough room. There will always be positive next to positive, or a negative next to a negative. And since it like repels, it'll push itself apart. I'm not completely confident I'm saying this right, but since it's pushing itself apart, there's more room in between molecules. So since there's more room in between molecules, when there's not moving around, it'll actually be lighter than the water that's floating around, because there's more space between the molecules. Back to another jump cut. Anyway, but yeah, that's at least my understanding on how ice forms and makes a less dense molecule. And since there's more spaces in between the molecules of ice, they'll push itself bigger and bigger into a bigger form, instead of moving around into a liquid form. And since the negatives and the positives push each other apart, they're less dense. So yep, that's the reason why ice floats on water. I do feel like I'm saying this kind of condescendingly, in a condescending way. But it could be that I completely missed over a lot of stuff, and who knows? Maybe there's some kind of quantum mechanics that's boogering everything up too. So yeah, that's Science Thursdays. Please like, favorite, subscribe. Maybe, hey, if I did get something wrong, please say why, how I got it wrong. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good day.